Good evening. We're in Studio 6C tonight, and it's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today?
Good, very good, very good.
You're looking well. You got a new set of clothes on.
Yeah.
You're feeling well?
I feel well, yeah.
How was your dinner?
Good.
Okay, good. How would you like the laundromat facts and figures?
Oh boy, that's a vast place, huh?
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of quarters rolling in.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of a slot machine at a casino.
Yeah.
Those machines look nice, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It brought you back to the good old days when you had your laundromats.
Yeah, I didn't do that much.
Well, that was 60 years ago. Well, what was a wash cost?
Quarter.
60 years ago.
Tires were 10 cents.
Yeah, well now it's $2.50 and $3. And not as many minutes as you gave them for a quarter.
Yeah.
So, in retrospect, you probably did pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, because a dollar went a lot further 60 years ago than it did now. Well, anyways, it's April 18th, 2025, and it's Good Friday. It's Good Friday, and Mr. Jeckovich is a devout and practicing Roman Catholic from day one. And let's read a short story about Good Friday that was Mr. Jeckovich's books. A relic from Calvary, the most precious blood of Christ. The Gospel of John tells us a soldier at the foot of the cross thrust his lance into Jesus' side, and immediately blood and water flowed out. According to the legend, at the moment, a drop of Christ's precious blood fell upon the soldier's eyes. It is said that for years, the soldier struggled with poor vision, but as the blood touched his eyes, his sight was miraculously restored. The physical healing was accompanied by a spiritual awakening. Overwhelmed by what happened, he proclaimed, "Truly, this man is the Son of God." Repenting for his sins and confessing that he had crucified God in the flesh, the soldier collected the soil soaked with blood and water at the foot of the cross and placed it into a vase. He gathered the sponge soaked in vinegar that was lifted up to Jesus on a branch. Through unnamed in the Gospels, the Roman soldier is now referred to Longinus. But Longinus is said to have traveled to Mantusa, and with the blood-soaked earth, Longinus was martyred by decapitation in the same city, 37 AD. Today, decapitation, wow, horrible things. Today, inside the Basilica of Anthrone, Italy, the remains of St. Longinus are kept in a chapel, while the vial of the soil soaked with the most precious blood of Christ is inside a crypt in the Basilica. So that's Good Friday, working our way to Easter. Working our way to Easter. We're on the second time around on your book, Mr. Jeckovich, and we're on page 87, chapter 5. How many pages was that book?
849.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to hear the book from beginning to end, simply Google Mr. John J. Jeckovich, World War II. It'll take you from the beginning to the end and back from the beginning to another end. And I think there's 400 or 500 podcasts now. It's quite interesting. And every day we get the two most popular texts. What about how did you make longevity to 100? And how much is the book and where can I buy it?
You can't sell it. It's not for sale.
Book is not for sale. And it never was for sale. It's certainly not about money. Mr. Jeckovich has plenty of money, doesn't need to sell a book. The book was written to give a roadmap for other people to have an easier life. Have an easier life. Don't forget, Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925 and he lived through the Great Depression. Great Depression.
Yeah.
11 years old, he took care of his mother until she passed away at the age of 89. So he's done a lot of things, and a lot of businesses, a lot of jobs, and he kept the most important thing. Your marriage lasted how long?
Yeah, 69 years.
69 years. So here we go. If you want any good advice, text Mr. Jeckovich anytime at 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. But how we say it on the beautiful island of Hague Point, Defusky Island, we're South Carolina, we talk a little differently. Text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. A couple excerpts about the book are these. Let's share them with you right now. I really like for them, this is speaking of his grandchildren or great-grandchildren, most probably the great-grandchildren at this time. I really like for them to know about hand-me-down clothes and homemade ice cream and leftover meatloaf sandwiches. I really would. I hope you learn humility by being humiliated, and that you learn honesty by being cheated. I hope you learn to make your own bed and mow the lawn and wash the family car. And I really hope no one gives you a brand new car when you turn 16. Horrible thing to do that to a kid.
Yeah.
No, wrong track, ladies, wrong track, don't do it. It'll be good if at least one time you see puppies being born and your old dog being put to sleep. I hope you get a black eye fighting for something you believe in. Yeah, very important. Get 2 black eyes. I hope you have to share your bedroom with your younger brother, and if it's all right with you to draw a line down the middle of the room. When he wants to crawl under the covers with you because he's scared, I hope you let him. When you want to see a movie with your little brother who wants to tag along, I hope you let him go. I hope you walk uphill to school with your friends and that you live in a town where you can do it safely. What was your walking to school experience?
Walking to school?
From Orleans Avenue, high school, Trot, tell us about that.
Well, from my house to the first place was 5 miles. And then the next one was 3 miles.
So you went to 2 high schools simultaneously.
Yeah.
3063 Orleans Avenue to high school was how many miles? Niagara Falls High School?
3 hours. 3 hours.
And then from high school to Trot, how many hours?
So 4 miles.
And then from Trot, where'd you go from there?
I went to Kresge's.
Wow. That's all the way down Main Street. How many miles is that?
That was Fall Street.
Fall Street, yeah.
That was 5 miles there.
And then from Kresge's?
We went home.
Did you walk or take a bus?
No, I took the bus.
You were worn out by then, right?
Yeah.
Did your mother take the bus with you because she worked there?
No. How did she get to work? I think she walked.
Your mother was in fine shape.
Yeah.
She walked everywhere.
Yeah.
Did your mother have a driver's license?
No, never drove. My father never drove.
But your father had a fancy Packard. Did he ever have a driver's
No,
license?
Stevie got a hold of him, playing with it all the time.
Wow. You'll recognize a Packard. It's a monster. It's like a mini yacht. But what's most recognizable is the hood ornaments. You'll see we call it a goddess of speed, but it's a lady holding a disc that looks like a flying saucer or a frisbee, and that's called the goddess of speed. By seeing that hood ornament, you know you're looking at a Packard. Packards are born in the United States.
Yeah.
All made in the United States. On rainy days when you have to catch a ride with your mother, I hope you don't ask your driver, being your mother, to drop you off 2 blocks away so you won't be seeing with someone as uncool as your mom. If you want a slingshot, I hope your dad teaches you how to make one instead of just buying one. I hope you learn to dig in the dirt and read books. When you first learn to use a computer, I hope you also learn to add and subtract in your head. I hope you are teased by your friends when you have your first crush on a girl. And when you talk back to your mother, that you learn what ivory soap tastes like. May you skin your knee climbing a mountain, burn your hand on a stove, and stick your tongue on a frozen flagpole. I don't care. This is a very important part. Probably the best out of all. I hope, I don't care if you have a beer once, but I hope you don't like it. And if a friend offers you dope or a joint, I hope you realize he is not your friend. Yeah. I sure hope you make time to sit on a porch with your grandma and grandpa and go fishing with your uncle. May you feel sorrow at a funeral and joy during the holidays. I hope your mother punishes you when you throw a baseball through the neighbor's window, and that she hugs you and kisses you at Christmas time when you give her a plaster mold of your hand. These things I wish for you. Tough times and disappointment, hard work and happiness. To me, it's the only way to appreciate life, right? Tough times, appreciate life.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're on page 87, and this is when you met a new girlfriend at basic training, and she lived in Owensboro, Kentucky, and you would take a bus from Evansville, Indiana at the base to meet with her. So now you're staying at a bed and breakfast. You just had a beautiful breakfast, and now it's beginning to meet Ann again. Now, I need to open up the laptop with a passcode. You have
41965.
Okay, that's your dog tag number. That'll work. After breakfast, I walked over to a small display room that was on the side of the dining room. There were all kinds of 18th century farm tools, household gadgets used by farm people at the time. I thanked the proprietor for an eventful stay, and I paid my lodging fee. Isn't that funny? Back then you were trusted when you left a bed and breakfast or a hotel or motel to pay when you leave.
Yeah.
How does that work today?
They got paid to bring in or?
Yeah. I paid my lodging fee, went back to my room to collect my belongings, and walked outside to await for Ann's arrival. A little after 1200 hours, Ann drove into the parking lot. As I walked toward her, I could see that once again she looked radiant and enticing. As I entered the car and before I realized what I was doing, I reached over and kissed her on the cheek. I quickly apologized for taking such a liberty, and she returned the gesture and kissing me in return. We had a picnic planned at Niagara Park for just the two of us. She stated as she started to drive away. I remarked that I had not been to a picnic for a long time, and I was looking forward to it. Niagara Park was a short distance from the bus station off of Old Litchfield Road. It was a beautiful park considering it's a town near the Owensboro Beltline. Heavily traveled bypass around town. I wonder how busy that Beltline is today.
Probably.
Compared to 80 years ago,
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. We found a spot near a small lake and proceeded to set up our picnic on one of the tables provided. Ann had brought all kinds of goodies, petite sandwiches, round objects twisted together, fruits, tarts, fried chicken, potato salad, and an assortment of other edibles which I were not too familiar with. I jokingly asked her if we're staying for a week or just a day. She smiled and spread the neat tablecloth over the picnic table and began to set out all that was in the picnic basket. I watched attentively as she went about her designated task, admiring her every move. I sat there and watched her as she moved gracefully, unabashed at my staring at her. She was a beautiful person with flowing, shoulder-length blonde hair and a flattering figure. She prepared the table, and I would occasionally get a glimpse of the sensuous calf or knee or her full breast through her tightened blouse, which she reached over to an object on the table. I was hungry, but at that moment it was not for food. The food was delicious, and I teasingly inquired if she had prepared all of it. Not all of it. I had help with some of it, she smiled. The parts that tasted best were the ones I had help with, she remarked, looking at me. I was fortunate to have met a person like Ann, as I could not contain myself with that thought. I touched her hand and said I was a lucky person and would cherish our time together. At that very moment, she jumped up, ran to the car, and brought back a camera, stating that she wanted some pictures of us together. Did you get those pictures?
Oh yeah, I don't know where they are.
Where are they?
Oh, no, who knows?
And how we manage that, I asked. Individual pictures will be fine for the moment, she reiterated, and began to snack the camera in my direction. After she'd taken several pictures, I asked her to pose, and she naively answered, "How do you want me to pose?" I responded, focusing the camera, "Sit on a table with your legs crossed so I could see those beautiful legs." She smiled and obliged. As we walked hand in hand around the lake, she asked me about the Army. Minutes?
12.
She asked me about the Army and specifically what kind of unit I was in. What kind of unit were you in?
Infantry.
Infantry combat.
Yeah.
I hesitated for a moment. I'm in a ground combat unit, a heavy weapons platoon, in an infantry company. I blurted out, trying to be unpretentious as possible. "Will you be going overseas at any time in the near future?" she asked hesitantly. I said it was very possible we may be going before the year was up. I detected a slight quiver in her hand as I held it, but she said nothing. Ann asked the couple that was passing if they would take our picture together, and they obliged, took several pictures of us. We thanked them, and I was pleased that Ann had asked them. "You're quite a resourceful one, and the one of many qualities that I admire in you," I said as I held her closely. She said that she would develop the pictures as soon as possible so that we might enjoy them together. Develop pictures, no more today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least those pictures, generally, you could have for a lifetime. In your phone, when you take a picture, lose a phone, you lose your album.
Yeah, you lose them.
As we reached our picnic table, Ann sat next to me and put her head on my shoulder. "What are we going to do now?" she whispered softly. I understand what she felt, and attracted to one another. She sensed and I sensed it. In a way, disturbed me, but at the same instant, it elated me. "Don't think of much of the future and try to enjoy the time we have it together," I implored her. "It would be so terribly difficult abruptly end our relationship," she explained. "I don't want it to end ever," she sighed. I jokingly told her I would go AWOL from the Army and then we could go away together. She put her arms around my neck and began to kiss me softly. Her cheeks were moist and warm. I deeply touched by her tenderness and display of emotion, at the same time slightly timorous of my own feelings. No one had ever showed me this much sincere affection in my lifetime. I held her tenderly and said that everything will work out for the best. It pained me to see her so distraught as she tried to regain her composure. In an attempt to console her, I asked her about school. I think I like it very much. I like teaching the 4th grade, she remarked, still fidgeting. I suggested we take another walk around the lake, still trying to alleviate some of her uneasiness. As we approached a group of small children playing and hollering about some insignificant episode in their lives.
9 minutes.
You feel like answering some questions? We have a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll pick up that chapter tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Would you ever swim with the sharks?
The shark?
Would you ever?
Oh, Amber does it all the time.
She's tough. That kid, Amber, is Mr. Jeckovich's great-granddaughter. She visits very often. Very often. And she's a full-time missionary and a full-time surfer. She travels all over the world. Good Friday, so you know where she is right now. Church. All week, church. But she does, in the breaks, she comes by and visits. It's amazing when you have a person like Amber Nicole Jeckovich that is Christocentric, how she has great empathy for people, while others have no empathy and they're egocentric. We know a lot of relatives that are egocentric, sociopaths with no empathy. But she's a fine young girl. She lives on the ocean. She roll out of bed. She's in the sand and surfing. But I imagine if you're a surfer that's been surfing all your life, Amber's in her 20s, that you're chasing a big wave. So as a result, Amber has literally surfed all around the world. And she's always on the go. Her passbook is stamped heavily. So we think, Amber, she makes you happy when you see her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she does a lot of little videos with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Have you ever rehearsed for anything?
Rehearsed?
Yeah.
Oh, an oral topic at school, yeah.
Oh, what was that about?
Oh, it's social science. Social studies.
Okay. Do you have a favorite number?
7, probably.
7, yeah. What is your favorite trip down memory lane?
Trip?
What is your favorite trip or memory down memory lane?
Oh, and I was getting married.
You're getting married.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely amazing. Mr. Jeckovich, by the way, as a side note, he proposed to his beautiful wife in the Basilica, Roman Catholic Basilica in Tonawanda, New York. Delphine Stulak accepted the marriage proposal, and then they walked up to the altar and knelt down at the altar in the Basilica, Roman Catholic Basilica in Tonawanda, New York, and they prayed for a happy and long marriage. How'd that work out?
69 years.
69 years. Wow. I guess your prayers were answered.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Unfortunately, in Florida last year, there was 90,000 divorces. 90,000 divorces. Unconscionable number to think of. And most of them were money related.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to live. A young couple's working 2 or 3 jobs. Husband working a couple jobs. Wife working a couple jobs. And they barely can make it.
Yeah.
Barely can make it. When Mr. Jeckovich In his prime, the wife took care of the household, which was a hard job, and did all the shopping and caretaking of the kids. And the husband was the breadwinner, right?
Yeah.
It worked out nice. It's different now. Back then, when Mr. Jeckovich was a boy, gas was 7 to 9 cents a gallon. Fill up your tank for $1.25. Go grocery shopping for a family of 4, $15, $20 tops. Fill the refrigerator, filled all your cupboards. A beautiful new house, $5,000, $6,000. A brand new car, $400 or $500, $600.
Yeah.
The things have changed dramatically. Things have changed dramatically. That's why we have so many divorces. I mean, people are just struggling to get by. It's such a bad situation. Struggling to get by. The honeymoon is over fast. The reality sets in about the second and third week. The honeymoon's gone, and now you gotta grind it out. It's called grinding it out every day. Grinding it out. It's tough. It's tough. So maybe they should think about getting married. Maybe they should have a bigger nest egg. I don't know. But 90,000 divorces.
Oh.
What a sad situation. Wow, what a sad situation. What makes you stand out in a crowd?
What made me stand out in the crowd?
Yeah,
My height.
yeah. What else?
Probably my personality.
What kind of personality do you have?
Probably silent.
What was your favorite pizza topping, Mr. Jeckovich?
What?
What's your favorite pizza topping? What kind of topping you like on your pizza?
Topping?
Yeah, what kind of topping do you like to put on your pizza?
Oh, fish and
Pepperoni?
pepperoni and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Are you a creature of habit?
Probably.
Yeah. Yes, you are. What's your memory of your school days?
School days?
Yeah, what's your memory?
What, high school or
Grammar school.
grammar school?
What's your memories?
Well, I went to Sugar Street School and I went to Niagara Street School.
And what's your memories? Were they good?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get to school?
Walked.
Those had some blizzards in Niagara Falls. You didn't care, you just walked through the blizzards, right?
Yeah, we didn't drive. No
Wow.
one could drive.
How was Sugar Street School?
Sugar Street School was an old school. It was an old school.
And how were the desks?
The desks were old fashioned.
Did they have inkwells?
Yeah, they had inkwells in them, yeah.
How was the teacher?
Teachers were young teachers just out of college.
Very nice. How was Niagara Street School?
Niagara Street School was new, very new. New brick building.
And how is it today?
Well, I don't think it's there.
You think it's gone?
Yeah,
How many kids were in your classroom?
probably 20.
And were they mostly boys or girls?
Mixed.
So what grade did the Niagara Street go to?
8th grade
And then from there, where'd you
in
go?
high school.
High school. And how big were the classes in high school?
High school had probably 20 or 30 classes.
And how were the teachers in Niagara Falls High School?
No, they were young too. They're all young teachers.
All nice kids. Dennis?
50 seconds.
Did you play any sports in high school?
What?
Did you play any sports in high school?
No.
Were you ever considered playing sports?
No.
Were you ever on a baseball team?
No.
How did your brother Steve get to high school?
What?
How did your brother Steve get to high school? How was his mode of transportation?
He did. He took the packet that was sitting in the garage.
And did you drive with him?
No, I walked.
Why?
I didn't want to get in the car.
Why didn't you want to get in the
I
car?
thought it would be on me.
Beyond you, minutes.
15 seconds.
You wouldn't get in that Packard.
No.
But Steve enjoyed it,
He drove it every day, back and forth to school.
and you just walked.
Yeah.
Did your brother Lookie get in it?
Look, he wasn't home.
Where was he?